I thought I would do a video response to Tetsuba57 or James's video about names. I think the video was titled Redeeming a Name, and the basic premise of the video is that there is a name that he used to associate with a bad thing because the person who perpetrated that onto him was called that, but now he associates that same name with someone else who also has that name being Heather. It's just about how you associate a name, because if you have someone do something bad to you, then you're not going to feel really fond of that name, are you? I guess you are. What I would share my experiences of name association. When I was in high school, after watching the film AI, I really liked the name David, because the main character in the film AI is a boy called David, who is a robot. But yeah, I really liked that character, and thus I really like the name David, because I had a strong association with that character and I liked the name. But then when I was maybe 13 or 14, a boy called David attacked me, and thus I stopped liking the name David, because after that just like the association, it stopped being with the film AI and started being that way. It stopped being a good thing and started being a bad thing, I guess. And I suppose that's the opposite of what has happened in Tetsuba's video, because it's like reassociation of a name, swapping it from one side to the other. I guess when you hear that name, from then on, you start to think of the first thing. The first thing that comes to mind changes. I think I should have planned this video better. I think though that context has a lot to do with it. Like if I'm on YouTube and someone says the name Charlie, then I'm going to think straight away Charlie is so cool. Like if they say James, I'm going to think Tetsuba, so forth. If you say a name on YouTube, I might instantly know which YouTuber you're talking about without you saying their username. And so, that's within the context of YouTube. I know that you're going to be talking about YouTubers. So, of course, they're the first people that are going to jump to mind. The odds that we're on YouTube and someone mentions a name and they're not talking about a YouTuber are quite small, really. I feel like as a video response this is going terribly. I think what I was getting at is that, I didn't want to offend you. I think it's possible that that James has reassociated the name Heather to a YouTuber because he thinks about YouTube quite often and he's on YouTube quite often. And so the odds that the Heather that is going to crop up is going to be the one from the past or the one from YouTube is salted. Even if no one directly mentions the name to you, in your mind you're thinking of the context of YouTube quite often. Although I'm not trying to tell you what to think or tell you what your situation is or degrade your situation by saying it's just about context or anything like that, but I do think you probably think about YouTube quite a lot, and whenever you think about YouTube, the people you associate with YouTube would be thought of. And if you regularly associate, if you're regularly thinking about that context and that context a lot, then that's going to have an effect, I think. Probably, maybe, perhaps. Currently I live with two people, both called David, and I think at the moment if someone said the name David to me, face to face, I would think of my housemates, because there's next to zero odds that they're talking about someone from my past, because they couldn't possibly know about my past, given that I haven't told anyone. A question has occurred to me that I guess I have for James is, do you now like the name Heather? Because I imagine in the past that you probably disliked the name Heather if you associated it with a bad thing occurring, or a bad, if you just associated that name with a bad past event, then you'd probably not like the name Heather at that time. But now if you associate it more with someone else, for whatever reason, do you now like the name, or are you, I don't know, more indifferent to it? Or is it just, I don't know, is it just there? I think if someone asked me if I liked the name David, automatically I think no. As a name, has the name Heather been redeemed, or just reassociated?